If you're stuck cooking the same 3 meals in your air fryer every week, that's wild, because it can apparently cook almost anything. So I bought 7 accessories that people claim will help with faster cooking, easier cleanup, and way better meals. But 2 of them actually made it more difficult. I'm ranking each of them from game changer to decent enough to total waste of space, starting with these egg bite molds. Now they come in a 2-pack, and as you can see, they are a silicone material, so they can probably squeeze into a drawer nice and easily. Each of them have 7 total slots that you can put any egg mixture into. So I'm gonna quickly spray them with a little bit of oil just to make sure it doesn't stick too much. And then I'm testing this with just scrambled eggs with salt and pepper. Let's get it poured into each of the molds. And for reference, this is 4 total eggs, so they can hold a good amount into each of the molds. Now, pro tip, because these are made of silicone, it's really hard to transport this once the eggs are actually in them. You can see if I try to lift it, the eggs are kind of just going everywhere, so definitely do it in your air fryer. And now that I've got these into the air fryer, I'm gonna carefully slide the drawer in, close this up, and I'm gonna air fry this at 370 degrees for about 3 minutes and then check on it. So I'll be back then. And now it's about 3 minutes later. Let's take a quick look, and they're definitely still very raw. I'm gonna quickly stir these up and then put them in for another 3 to 5 minutes until they start to harden more. It's now another 10 minutes later, and they look like they're starting to puff up. So I think it has to be now or never with these eggs. Hopefully they're cooked through. I'm gonna see if I can just lift up this first one here, and oh my God, look how big this egg mold is. That's actually crazy, and it does look like it's fully cooked. But now for the real moment of truth. Even though the top and outside look great, how about the inside? Uh-oh. Feels really liquidy. For an egg bite, I really wouldn't expect any liquid at all to be coming out of them. However, I think it is just yolk, and I think these are definitely cooked enough. It's not too much liquid pouring out anywhere. So this one honestly shocked me. It looks more like a gimmick than anything, but I think if you get the time and temperature correctly, you could also fully cook the inside unlike I did and have really good egg bites made in your air fryer. And because it also folds up really nice and small, I'm rating this as a game changer for cooking eggs. But now I'm wondering if this next gadget can fix taco night, because these weird looking things are actually taco stand racks. Now these actually come in a pack of 4, and each of them can hold 3 tacos as well. Now the obvious test here is to put hard shell tacos in this and make sure they stay formed at the end, which I will definitely do first, and they fit perfectly inside of these racks right here. But I'm also curious if I can fit and form soft shell tacos too. So I'm just gonna slide a soft shell taco into here, a flour taco, and kind of wrap it over the edges, and hopefully it comes out nice and formed like that too. We'll get them both into our air fryer here, and obviously with the soft ones, it's only gonna fit probably 2 of them onto here if you wanted to go this route, but for now I'm just gonna test 1 and see how it comes out. And I'll run this at 325 for about 6 to 7 minutes, then check in on the shells. Our taco shells are now ready. Let's hope that they're all holding structure. And here we go. Unsurprisingly, the hard shells look great. And our flour shell, whoa, it has completely conformed into the shape of that. It's actually really awesome. Like, I don't have to hold this open at all for it to be this taco shape now. And the other cool thing is it's already holding open your tacos for you, so you can easily just put your fillings right into here, and then when it's ready, grab the whole taco. Now you can already throw taco shells into the oven or the air fryer and cook them completely without this gadget right here, but I do think this helps them cook better, and it holds the taco together better so that it's easier to fill them after cooking. So for those reasons, I'm rating it as decent enough. Now this rotisserie basket looks and feels like it belongs in a professional kitchen, but I definitely have my doubts about it. The rotisserie basket has a hole on both sides, so you can put a rod through it and hang it in your air fryer. But I've tested dozens of air fryers and toaster oven air fryers, and I've never seen it come with a rod that could actually go through this. So I'm gonna skip that setup step and just open this up through the handle right there. And I'm gonna see if it can roast peanuts inside of here. So I'll just kind of fill up the basket with a good amount of peanuts, get this into the bottom shelf of my air fryer, and hopefully the air just kind of makes this roll around a little bit as it's cooking to give it that rotisserie effect. And I'm gonna run this for about 5 minutes at 300 degrees and then check on the peanuts. And as you can see, while it's air frying, the basket isn't rolling around at all, unfortunately, but it's now been 5 minutes. Let's at least check on the peanuts. And I will say those peanuts look really nice and toasted and look pretty delicious. These ones I've gotta taste just to see. Oh my God. They honestly taste just like the roasted peanuts you'd get at like a carnival or a fair or something like that. So delicious. With that being said, the basket is pretty small overall, so you really couldn't put a lot of food into this. And because it's made of a full wire material all the way around, if you cooked something messy in this, I think it would be an absolute nightmare to clean. Also, I don't think it acted any differently than just putting a regular wire basket in my air fryer, since I don't have the rod that goes through it, and I've never seen that rod either. For all those reasons, I'm gonna have to say this is a total waste of space, but I'm definitely gonna enjoy these peanuts. Now, shifting gears quite a bit, this next accessory costs almost nothing, but might save you the most amount of time of any of the accessories. And that's because inside this envelope is a 2-pack of air fryer cooking time cheat sheets. And not only do they tell you the time and temperature of how to cook pretty much anything you'd want to put in your air fryer, but they're also magnetic, so you can put them right onto the side of your air fryer as long as it's magnetic in some sort of way, which most of them are, or if it's not, right on your fridge, and you'll have all of the time and temperatures ready for you whenever. Now, you can easily look up all this information or honestly just guess and try things out until it works, but I do find these super helpful, so for that reason, I'm rating this as decent enough. But you know what's always the worst part of cooking no matter what? Cleaning. And these are air fryer liners that promise to help with that. So you can put whatever you want into these baskets right here. I've got a couple chicken wings prepared that I'm gonna air fry, and then hopefully all of the drippings from the chicken and all the juices fall into the bottom of the silicone and stay there, making cleanup nice and easy afterwards. Let's get these air fried and we'll check it out after. And our chicken wings are done now. Let's see if they were able to get crispy in there and still have easy cleanup. And immediately on the tops, we are getting that nice golden crust on the top of these chicken wings. But yet you can see a lot of the juices are falling kind of in between the cracks here, which I believe helps it so that the chicken itself is not sitting in the juices as it falls down, making sure that the bottom of the chicken isn't too soggy. It's just juicy from the chicken itself. And here is the silicone liner after cooking just 3 chicken wings. Look how much mess it caught inside of there. And I'm gonna try running this under some water really quick just to see how easily it cleans out. And after a 30-second rinse and wipe down, it's pretty much looking brand new again. Because this makes cleanup significantly better, it has definitely earned a permanent spot in my drawer, and I have to label this as a game changer. Unless our silicone divider ends up actually being better. But before we test those, is there a better way to air fry toast? These are apparently air fry toast racks that can hold 6 slots of toast in each of them. So let's slide our pieces of toast in, and they fit perfectly in those slots with almost no wiggle room. I'm gonna try 2 right next to each other inside of this, although that feels like very little space, and I feel like the inside of this piece won't cook, but we'll find out. And then for comparison, let's spread out a couple more pieces so that we can compare the spread out ones to the ones that are close together to see if it can actually air fry 6 of them. So this whole toast rack goes in our air fryer, and then let's toast this up at 390 degrees, and I'll be back when this one's ready. And 5 minutes later, let's check on our toast and see how each of them toasted up. So starting with our outside slices, it's a little bit uneven, but definitely got some browning to it on both sides. And now our pieces that were close together, let's check on this one. And yeah, I don't see much browning at all on the side that was facing the other piece of toast, and it is much softer than all of the other slices of bread, especially compared to this side here. So some of the toast came out pretty good, but not fully toasted on both sides, and I think you could probably only toast maybe 3 or 4 slices in each of those racks right there because the ones that were next to each other didn't really toast at all. So really, I could have made almost as much toast in my air fryer just laying out each of the pieces individually. So the gadget is cool in theory, but honestly kind of useless in practice. I'm gonna call it a total waste of space. Now finally, the gadget that might dethrone my favorite pick so far, which is the silicone liners, is going to be this silicone divider. Now this comes with 2 pieces, one being that divider so that you can air fry 2 different things and not cross them over, but on the bottom it's also just a silicone liner itself with the same grooves to prop things up, so it's kind of a 2-in-1 gadget. I'm gonna prep 2 different things to make sure that they don't cross over, starting with a chicken breast on one side, and by the way, that barely fits. The divider definitely takes up a lot of room, and on the other side, asparagus, which also just barely fits inside of our divider here. I'll get that whole thing into the air fryer, and obviously I can only choose one temperature even though there's 2 different things in there, so I'm gonna put this at 400 and we'll take them out as they become ready. And about 8 minutes in, our asparagus is probably about done, so let's get that pulled out first. And so far, I'm not seeing any juices splitting to either side. Really nice and easy to just pull that out. None of it's sticking or getting anywhere. And let's let the chicken cook for another 5 minutes or so. And now our chicken is done, so let's check on the result and see how the dividers did and if all the juice got caught in the bottom. First off, the chicken, perfectly cooked, nice and crispy. Even on the bottom too, maybe a little bit of juice is still stuck on the bottom there, but overall looks pretty solid. And now as you're seeing, all the chicken juices and stuff got caught on this side of the divider, with this side being pretty clean there from the asparagus. And under it is where all of the mess got caught too. So as it was laying like this, the chicken wasn't sitting in the juices that kind of fell to the bottom, just like before with our silicone liners, and now they're all at the bottom here. And once again, I am sure the cleanup is gonna be really easy with these silicone divider here. So since these can clearly divide out food in the air fryer and help with cleanup, they are obviously a game changer for me, and probably my favorite product of the day. These air fryer dividers also remind me of a dual basket air fryer I recently tested because I could also cook 2 different things, and if you want to see my review on that, you should check that out right here.